Hello, dear friends. Today we are going to do another chapter from Unit 2, Section 2 A Good Deed Comes Around. Here are the answers. Answer orally. The narrator's mother was a doctor who held life-saving vaccination program all over Rhodesia. Their car was a mobile clinic which had an array of equipment. They covered many kilometers to vaccinate people. Therefore, he commented that it was close to her heart. Multiple choice questions. Number 1, Part B. It was equipped with a medical chest. Number 2, Part C. Calling them to bring the tongue out and checking whether they have swallowed the sugar lump. Number 3, Part A. Guerrilla War. Next exercise, read and answer. Answer number 1. The narrator helped his mother with the polio vaccine. The narrator used to carry a tray of sugar lumps in the health program and would give one to each person. Answer number 2. The narrator accompanied his mother to Rhodesia and observed life as well as death there. The borders were remote and a guerrilla war was undergoing against colonial Portuguese. By 1986, when the author came back, the condition of Mozambique had worsened. It was battered by decades of war and famine. It was known as the poorest country of the world. Answer number 3. The narrator took up journalism in England and started working for the London Sunday Times. He came back to Mozambique for an assignment given by the paper. Answer number 4. On the second day of his capture, the narrator was taken to the base. There, he was told to wait for their commander who was dining. The narrator recognized the language of the commander, greeted him in Chindao. The commander was amazed. The twist was that the commander was a child went to the health camp of the narrator's mother. He was vaccinated by her and was given medicine by the narrator himself. Next exercise, think and answer. Answer number 1. The smile disappeared because the storekeeper saw the rebels approaching toward the narrator. After that, they took the narrator into captivity and walked towards south for their base. Answer number 2. The narrator greeted the commander in the local dialect Chindo, which amazed him. Answer number 3. The speaker said this because he used to go to the vaccination program which narrator's mother held. He was given medicine by the narrator and was amazed to meet him again. Answer number 4. The narrator meant that the good deed he did in his childhood has saved him. He still had the proof of the result of his deeds as a photograph of him with the commander and his men. The vaccination program in the earlier days earned him respect as well as his life. Next exercise, reference to context. Answer number A. The speaker was at the base of Mozambique rebels. Part B. The speaker met the commander of the rebels. Part C. The speaker was ushered to a seat at the commander's right hand. Part D. The speaker is treated as an honored guest because of two reasons. First, he was a resident of Rhodesia and knew their local dialect. Second, he was the one whose mother vaccinated the commander in his childhood. Next exercise, word quiz. Word quiz. Answer is part C, food and house. Next exercise, time for discussion. A good deed can return anywhere and at any time. Like in the story, the situation could have been different, but because the narrator did good in his childhood, his deeds were rewarded. In his childhood, he saved the children from getting polio. In his adulthood, one of those children saved his life. Therefore, it is said, what you sow, so shall you reap. Next exercise, listen. The first real test for the Flore Lab came when Albert Alexander, a 48-year-old London policeman, cut himself while shaving. The cut was ignored for several days and became septic. Alexander was taken to hospital and given sulfur drugs, but without success. When the doctor believed that he was going to die with a few hours, Flore and Chain requested that they be given permission to treat this patient. This would be their first human subject to whom penicillin was applied. The two scientists administered the injections themselves. After 5 days, Alexander was recovering, but then there was no more penicillin available. The policeman had a relapse and died 5 days later. However, the experiment did demonstrate that penicillin was not harmful to humans. It was effective instead. The scientists were more successful with their next patients. Around the same time, Fleming was also treating a patient with penicillin, but the shortage of penicillin kept hindering the treatment. By 1941, it was acknowledged that penicillin was indeed a worthwhile drug and could save thousands of lives. Next exercise, grammar. Part A, number 1, they had planted the tree. Number 2, Anita had just left for her class when I reached. Part 3, I had always known that he would be successful. Part B, number 1, had been building. Number 2, had been writing. Number 3, had been raining. Part C, had created a lot of fuss, had cried continuously, had tried to pacify me, had refused to go to school, had managed to send me, had narrated a story, had suffered greatly due to lack of education, had gone to school happily. Part D, number 1, she thought she had met him before. Number 2, the taxi arrived after Nikhil had given up waiting for it. Number 3, the boy had seen the bird flew away. The bird before it flew away. Number 4, the team celebrated because they had won the match. Next exercise, be word wise. Part A, number 1. A is politeness, B polite, C politely. Number 2, part A, lazy, B lazily, C laziest. Number 3, part A, intelligent, part B, intelligently, part C, intelligence. Part B, number 1, put in, number 2, put away, number 3, put out, number 4, put off, number 5, put across, number 6, put up. C exercise, hardworking, kind, jovial, good, observant, old. Next exercise, learn to use the dictionary. There are two words. Number 1, performance. Here, how we pronounce it. It is in this style. You can find it in the dictionary. Performance. Number 2, information. Information. Now, next exercise, writing fun. The company tells us not to boil or bleach the t-shirt. Next point, it also tells us to avoid rinsing or twisting the garment. Next point, it advises drying in shade and mentions that ironing is not required. Next exercise, value corner. Harmony makes small things grow, no matter how much things become difficult. Harmony must be kept for a greater good tomorrow. Lack of harmony gives birth to anger, hatred, which eventually leads to destruction of one's own self. In the speech of Martin Luther King Jr., he addresses the mass and conveys the message of harmony. He encourages people to forget about the differences among themselves and bring peace in the world. Next exercise is project. Here is the project. Choose any personality, for example, Martin Luther King, who has been a civil rights activist in the United States of America. Focus on his upbringing and what led him to the path of freedom. You can also highlight certain aspects of his personality and quote certain passages from his speech, I Have a Dream, which are included in the syllabus. You can conclude by saying that you consider him an outstanding person because of his ability to foresee that the oppressed Negro population of America would one day be treated equally with the white population. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream has ultimately come true with election of America's first black president, Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Next exercise, life skill. Part B. Sit down in an amicable environment and explain to them that times have changed. Places, people, and the environment have undergone a change. Thank them for all the good things and ask them to give you a reason for a no. Convince them that you love and respect them. Students should also understand that parents are concerned about their safety and say no on certain occasions. That's all, my dear friends. If you want to get more answers, you can comment in the box. I will try to bring answers from other books, from other chapters as much as possible. Okay, and very soon I will upload section 3 9 gold medals. So to get alerts, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Goodbye.